What does it take for a glamorous life built on social media fame to spiral into a murder investigation? She had millions of fans, a luxury Miami condo, and the public image of a successful influencer. But on April 3rd, 2022, everything changed. This is the story of Courtney Clenney and what her case can teach us about love, violence, and accountability. Hi, I'm Holly Mae Cormier, author of Memphis, a domestic thriller about love, survival, and violence. On this channel, I talk about true crime, narcissistic abuse, and survivor stories that relate to fiction. So let's rewind. Courtney Clenney, known online simply as Courtney Taylor. She was a rising influencer making a fortune on OnlyFans and through her Instagram sponsorships. Now, her boyfriend Christian was described as someone who was kind, devoted, and charismatic, but not nearly as famous as Courtney. But their relationship was anything but picture perfect. There were constant arguments, visible bruises, and multiple visits from police to their luxury apartment in the months leading up to the fatal incident that occurred. Now, before the stabbing, it's reported that Christian had started recording their arguments. In one recording that you can find online by a simple Google search, Courtney is heard throwing racial slurs at him. It's hard audio to hear. It's disgusting. And I want to bring this up because a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse who are experiencing gaslighting start questioning their own reality, their own sanity. And this is something that they do that I have done in my past relationships, start recording so they can get verification. And for many, it had shattered the image that Courtney had carefully curated online. On April 3rd, 2022, an argument broke out between Courtney and Christian at their Miami apartment. Minutes later, Christian lay dying from a stab wound to his chest. Now, Courtney told police that she had acted in self-defense, claiming that she threw the kitchen knife from 10 feet away during a heated confrontation. But the medical examiner's report painted a very different picture. The wound was deep and angled downward, something very unlikely to occur from a knife throw. Police body cam footage and the recorded 911 call show Courtney appearing shocked and very distraught after learning Christian had died from his injuries. Now, initially, the police treated the case as self-defense. It wasn't until the autopsy and forensic report came through, roughly 4 months later, that Courtney was officially arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Now, after her arrest, reports surfaced that Courtney's parents allegedly tried to access Christian's laptop, leading to hacking charges that were actually later dropped. That detail really stood out to me. If true, it raises questions. Did they fear there was evidence Christian had been documenting her behavior? Recordings, messages, proof of the abuse that he was enduring? Or was it about controlling the narrative, protecting her public image as an influencer with millions of followers? We don't know yet, but we do know that in relationships, this volatile, power and image often become weapons. Was Christian trying to protect himself or preparing proof in case things escalated even further? It's something that we may see addressed if the case does end up going to trial. And in terms of the trial, just last week, it was delayed yet again. So really what it comes down to, there's two versions of the truth here. So we have the defense and we have the prosecution. The defense is a case of self-defense. Courtney feared for her life, describing a toxic relationship where she reacted in self-defense. Her lawyers even conducted several demonstrations, throwing knives from 10 feet away at pig carcasses to prove that the knife was thrown and it could have went that deep in his chest from that far away. Now, the prosecution's argument, they say that Courtney was the aggressor, pointing to her violent outbursts, racial slurs, and her physical attacks that have been recorded via text messages and videos. The wound's depth and trajectory, they argue, show that the knife wasn't thrown, it was plunged. No matter where you stand, it's a grim example of how toxicity spirals when control, ego, and emotional volatility replace empathy and respect. This case isn't just about fame, money, or social media. It's about how appearances can mask deep dysfunction and how both men and women can get trapped in a cycle of abuse. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I think that this case reminds us that anybody, male or female, can become trapped in the cycle of abuse, regardless of gender, social status, or success. It's a tragedy on both sides. One is dead and one is locked up, potentially for the rest of her life. This story is more than a headline. It is a reflection of power, perception, and the human cost of toxic love. What do you think? Do you think it was self-defense or do you think it was something darker? Drop your thoughts in the comment. And if you or someone you know is trapped in a abusive relationship, check out the resources below. I will also link the blog article on Courtney and Christian's case on my website. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I also invite you to check out the links in the description below. Thank you so much. Have a great day.